Oh yes. Hello there. The Mad Flip here, checking this out. So another day and figure out what was I doing today. So today was trying to go to work today. That just didn't help a whole lot. But besides that, working with tourist third person, besides that is just crazy. But besides that, let's find something to actually talk about. So let's make sure I don't have a glare. Is there a glare? Yeah, I know. Considering I'm doing this from an Android phone, so I don't really have a camera or something really affordable, reliable camera here. I'm going on my Android Galaxy 6 here. So far, I mean, it looks clear. Too bad the videos don't look that big. I mean, I was trying to do my my YouTube videos, and I realized, man, on an Android phone, the YouTube videos are pretty small. And that's why it made me wonder about my YouTube channel itself, considering that this is really all I got right here, an Android phone. And like I said, you just try to do what you got. And this is what I got here, an Android phone. Just trying to do my videos and shoot my videos. So, besides that, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, like I said, it's an interesting day in society. Now, think about it. I'm trying to think about it back in early 2000s, or actually before the internet in general. Think about it, like in the 90s, man. Considering me personally, I'm entering my upper 30s, and I'm like, wow, just remember the early 2000s, or when I first graduated in 97, I was like 18 years old at the time, and I'm like thinking to myself, no social media, no internet, no cell phones, no Starbucks, no bunch of other stuff. I mean, there was a bunch of other things that weren't here in the 90s when I think about it now. And, Chicago, Michael Jordan and the Bulls won 6 NBA titles, and, Kobe Bryant just started off his NBA career, and it's just crazy. And just like I said, to get the thought of the guy's idea of LeBron James being the Michael Jordan. Now, the idea is, let's face it, LeBron James in his own right is a great player. We're not going to discount that. Michael Jordan, like what Michael Jordan did, and especially too in the 90s, if anybody paid attention in the 90s, if you're an NBA basketball fan and if you were watching basketball in the 90s, Michael Jordan was the man. Let's face it. If you watched basketball in the 90s, you know how bad a bad man Michael Jordan is. And if you're still watching basketball nowadays, and especially to the younger generation, just to see how good LeBron James is. Of course, LeBron James is a champion, obviously. We're not going to doubt that. Him winning the championship in Cleveland will not be taken away, obviously. And speaking of that, we're talking about the idea of a super team, which is interesting what Colin Cowherd said. He was talking about how Michael Jordan didn't beat a super team. You're right. There's not that many super teams because there's no such thing as a super team. And you think about it, back in the early 80s was basically a team of dynasties, not really super teams, but team of dynasties basically. Super teams, when you think about it with a salary cap, you think about it, there's no reason to have a super team because you think about it, who's paying all these players? Think about it, you have a 12-man roster, who's paying all these guys, and it's hard to have 4 all-stars, and it's just crazy to know that what they're doing in Golden State with Kevin Durant, and especially to what was on ESPN's First Take, where is Golden State the villain or is it Kevin Durant? And for me personally, I just think about it. The Golden State Warriors to me is not the villain team here. It's Kevin Durant jumping ship from OKC to Golden State is the problem. Now, like they said though, Kevin Durant, if he honestly just came out and said, hey look, I could not beat LeBron James. I tried, I could not beat LeBron James. I could not beat Golden State. I'm saying, hey, we're going to jump ship, go from OKC to Golden State. That's one thing. He should have just said that. Come on and say, hey, look, I want to win a title. I just want to beat LeBron James. I know I am the best basketball player, but to prove that we got to beat LeBron James, right? So let's go team up with Steph Curry. Let's team up with Klay Thompson. And let's just shoot jump shots and hopefully win a championship. So like they said, what Stephen A. Smith said it's interesting. This coming NBA season is unpredictable. I mean, not unpredictable, it's predictable. And obviously, Cleveland and Golden State round 3 of the finals. And who really want to see that? If you're an NBA basketball fan, let's be honest. Who wants to see Golden State versus Cleveland round 3? Golden State versus Cleveland round 3. It's just crazy. And especially for LeBron James' sakes, I mean, there's nobody in the Eastern Conference that's going to beat Cleveland. And obviously in the Western Conference, there's nobody going to beat San Antonio. That's crazy. Going to beat Golden State. But besides that, Kevin Durant wants the ring, and he's going to have to go to LeBron James. And LeBron James is interesting, though. If somehow LeBron James somehow beats Golden State next season, then the season after, and then, you have that article about that whole 10 reasons why LeBron James could be greater than Jordan. And you got to think about it. That might put him up there. But then I think about it not this past season, but last season when LeBron James had to try to beat Golden State by himself when Manny Didova, when Kyrie Irving was injured and Kevin Love injured. I gotta admit, right there, if he beat that Golden State team, that would have elevated LeBron James to a higher level. That would have been just crazy. From him doing that, would have just elevated LeBron James and add to his legacy that's already there. Like I said, he's what they predicted probably the end of his career. Probably was it top 5, top 3 greatest player of all time, basically. And some, wants compared to the end of Michael Jordan. Of course, we know LeBron James overall, his numbers statistically, so far they're probably going to end up being better than Michael Jordan's. I mean, I don't know about highest career scoring average. That might be different, but besides that, LeBron James eventually is going to have a lot of stats better than Michael Jordan. So it's just crazy. But besides that, to know in basketball, there's not going to be a challenge. Like Stephen A. Smith said on First Take, he's like, it's going to be boring. And he's a big basketball fan, so he's like, I'm going to be bored because I'm going to pencil in going to Golden State and going to Cleveland because that's where the finals will be at. Unless somehow Golden State get injuries. And like I said, man, to sign Kevin Durant, you got to realize Golden State had to let Bogan go. They had to let Harrison Barnes walk. So not having that depth does help. But then again, when you're adding a scorer like Kevin Durant, you figure Golden State should just outscore every team. No, seriously, they should outscore everybody, basically. They should outscore. A healthy Golden State team anyway will probably outscore anybody. They should at least average anywhere between 115, 120 points a game. And guys just raining shots. And, it's just amazing to imagine see what Kevin Durant's going to average, what Steph Curry's going to average, what Klay Thompson's going to average. See what Draymond Green's going to average. I mean, I figure, Stephen Curry will probably still score 25 points a game. Kevin Durant, the score is, you're looking at maybe 28 points a game. And Klay Thompson, depending how many shots he's actually going to get, maybe his scoring goes down to maybe 16 points a game. Draymond Green's numbers will probably go down, and it makes you wonder, sharing the basketball. They talk about it. I think, what was it, Max Kellerman on First Take say, Kevin Durant didn't care about who gets the ball. Let's give it to the open man. Hopefully Max Keller is right about that, because I'm still wondering why ESPN got him to do that. I was surprised. I mean, yes, we know Skip Bayless is gone, but at the same time, it's like, doesn't guys at ESPN have somebody better than Max? But I don't know. We'll see. So far, he looks like he's doing a good job, even though he's a big boxing fan. Boxing? Is boxing still sport? No, I'm kidding. Boxing, of course, is still a sport. I'm just kidding out there. But it's interesting, though. Like they said, the growth of MMA and UFC probably overtake boxing as, one of the top sports going out there. It's just crazy. Especially, too, knowing boxing, how they talk about no more the heavyweights, no more guys like Mike Tyson, no more those guys. Now we just look at the lower weight class, and especially too in boxing, who wants to see another Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather? It's funny how I just didn't understand when they fought that, Mayweather so far has not lost. He probably will retire not losing, which is kind of interesting because it makes you wonder, how many fights does a boxer fight a year? It's just interesting, though. It's just to see how that works as Floyd Mayweather remains undefeated, right? And he's probably retiring. Didn't he? Actually, I'll take that back. Didn't he retire yet? I know Pacquiao should probably retire. Wait, is Pacquiao going to retire yet? Who knows? But besides that, I'm just ramming and rolling on as we check it out here on Periscope. So talk about whatever's, and I just got to double check here. I'm just looking at my season here. This is last season for... Actually, I'm sorry, you can't really see that. Actually, never mind. Let's not go back to that. That's just crazy. That right there is Major League The Show. MLB The Show. On the PlayStation 4. Probably the best baseball game. Let's take that back. The only baseball game on any console. Let's face it. MLB The Show. And let's check it out here. Let's check this out. Josh Donaldson on the cover. Now, first of all, I am not 100% sure Josh Donaldson should have won MVP last season, but he did win MVP from going from the Oakland Athletics to the Toronto Blue Jays, which now Toronto Blue Jays have Troy Tulowitzki and all those other guys. And let's see what they do in Toronto. And talking about baseball season, how about the Chicago Cubs, man? Baseball? What? Baseball? It's funny to talk about that, but I am a big baseball fan, so hopefully, baseball season will be good. And it's still, 2 more months away till the season ends. And like they said, just to hear A-Rod retiring, and does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? I don't know, man. In baseball, let's face it, man, if you cheat in general, like for example, Pete Rose, during his baseball career, I don't think he cheated on baseball. It's after he retired and became a manager, he cheated on baseball. So it's crazy. So during his playing career, Pete Rose probably didn't cheat, take any PhD. He just gambled. That's after, you know, his career ended. And next thing you know, he's been banned from baseball ever since. And it's just amazing. Like I said, if he just say he gambled on baseball, he made a mistake, he couldn't help it, he just gambled on baseball, it was a big mistake, maybe they might let him in. Really? Over 4,000 hits? Do not let the guy in. And like I said, baseball is a driven number statistic sport. How can you not let Pete Rose in? It's just crazy, but like I said, it is rules of the game. And not only that, too, the PhD uses, you know, the great home run race of McGwire and Sosa. Yeah, during the baseball strike. Man, that's just crazy. A baseball strike that robbed them, probably the Montreal Expos. Think about it. The Montreal Expos, which now is the Washington Nationals, probably robbed them a chance to go to the World Series. Of course, the season didn't finish that way. But then again, too, that documentary on the Montreal Expos during that team of the strike before they moved from Montreal to back to Washington, which the Washington Nationals had a team, what was it? Early, was it 60s? 70s? They had the Washington Nationals? Then again, baseball has been around since the 1800s. Think about it. Baseball has been around since the 1800s. That's just crazy. It's probably one of the older sports, or actually the older 4 major sports in general. So, of course, there's probably sports before baseball, but, you know, besides that, it's a nice, beautiful day. I should get out there. Or actually, I'm home stuck here looking around my room. It's crazy looking around the room and wondering to people are actually listening to me. It's just crazy just to know that. But besides that, I guess hopefully everybody else there enjoys their day. Hopefully I'll enjoy the rest of my day. We out. Check you guys out. Check you guys out later.